What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Inside 11, and right now we're talking about the good game Elden Ring and how the phenomenon of the lost sight of grace, where you as the main character in the game, where you're known as what do you call it, the garnished, or the forsaken, or the band. You're just banded from becoming the lord over this land, establishing your rulership. But I want to discuss the narrative of finding these lost sites, these lost sites of grace, basically where you explore the map and where you light up these areas. This is very like occult and very esoteric in life, because you as an observer, you're literally flying around to different parts of your body, and you're almost rediscovering yourself, the aspects of yourself that you underutilized, or where you were perhaps even put in a position in your life where you wasn't supposed to use these parts of yourself. So some people may not use the root chakra area, which has to do with transformation, the external side of that, Aries, pushing that externally, seeing things the way you want to see it, or the eighth house, having to do with the occult behind the scenes, being able to manipulate a circumstance. And not like it's a good or bad thing, but based on morality, based on certain things that we saw as children, or certain things that happened to us that shut down the expression of those chakras, that turned off the spintronics within those areas, you might have to find yourself in a position where you're older, where you can't really change your circumstance, the cards that have been given to you by the people, places, and things, if you don't go back within yourself and rediscover those old aspects of you. Because, as an observer, when you're going throughout your day, you're activating different parts of this body, which is just a low vibrational version of the God body of your lighter self, because we just fell into density. And in the game, as the main character, you go around the map and you go light up these flames, so you can remember that reference point, so you can remember that arena, so you can have a sight in that area. And this is why even in the game you explore caves, or just exploring caves in general. We even have allegories about how there's treasures and things within these caves, within this darkness, within this unexplored realm. And your mind, your subconsciousness, your unconsciousness is a whole realm that has not been tapped into. In fact, I would say that it has been tampered with. And so, a lot of things are planted there in nature that are toxic. So you as a deity observing your entities in the form of cells that make up organs that interact with each other as a coherent ecosystem to give you, the deity, life. Just like in the game, you have these mini entities and these things, these low vibrational octaves living. This is how people even manifest cancer in their life. Or a cancerous cell is a cell that rebels against its function. And so even though we want the highest possible good for ourselves, we create dysfunction in our life. We create internal dysfunction, and it stops us from functioning outwardly, externally, and having prosperity. And so when you're dysfunctional and you're carrying out external dysfunctions, because really the entire world is dysfunctional, so it's actually seen as the normal thing. So we need to understand and address how to go back into your memories, your unconscious, your subconscious, and begin to clear out a lot of those muddy waters. And so you cannot be afraid as a person to explore a part of yourself, because the entire world is reflecting yourself back to you. So when you're walking around unable to express yourself to a female that you like, that you love, that you want to sexually express yourself to, and you want to just be sexually active, or just be sexually expressive, however where you grew up, you might see other people carrying out those obligations, carrying out those actions, carrying out those mannerisms, carrying out those body languages, and from the inside you might get pissed off. You might be like, but see, that's why you need to understand your subconscious and unconscious, and locate those sites of grace and light up those areas again and allow the light in those areas, because some of y'all females, y'all, vajayjays, they just be dry as hell. Some of you males, your penises, it don't be goddamn erect. That shit don't stand up. That shit don't get up like that shit don't transform, bro. So man, it's very fascinating because there's a lot of things in life that can block you from spinning and attracting and using the different aspects within your temple of God for you to manifest what's, benevolent for you. And so it's very, very important for us to analyze how we self-reflect our own feelings and our own thoughts into the external environment through people, places, and things. Like one celebrity, for example, that is a good reflection is Andrew Tate. So if Andrew Tate pisses you off, if you don't like how he expresses himself, then you need to begin to observe yourself, because if you don't like somebody, then why are you giving them all this energy and all this attention? So you need to understand that based on whatever he's carrying out, he's actually breaking tradition, he's actually breaking religion, he's actually breaking the old structure of the matrix and the system that we are in. That's why a lot of people don't necessarily like him, but at the same time they can't help but like him, because he's really answering a call. He basically played the game. And just like how you should go back in yourself and discover those lost sites of grace, because really he was able to go through traumatic situations and endure them and not allow that shit to, stop him from exploring more lost sites of grace, lighting up those areas within the God body so he can activate himself. But a lot of us don't do this process. It's not necessarily about fast or slow, because eventually God will show you what you need to see in your own life, and chances are you've already been seeing it, and you've already been seeing what you need to include in your life to give it that spice, to give it that extra flame. So your life is not boring, your life is not dull, and all these things really just come from purpose, because whatever chakra you use, whatever organ you use, whatever part of because all this is a computer together, all this is an ecosystem. This is why science talks about how the gut is a brain as well. When we talk about the gut, the gut, it just processes food, blah, blah, blah. That's not what it is. But science proves that the gut is also a brain. So how the hell that we got a brain up here in our head, but how the hell you're telling me, I got a gut feeling, brother? But I know that gut feeling didn't come from your damn brain. Your brain might have interpreted it, but you felt it with your gut first. So that alone lets you know that you actually have thinking and feeling capabilities beyond this in your head and beyond this in your belly. Your heart is a brain, your goddamn muscular system is a brain, your goddamn nervous system is a brain. All these are just pathways of experience and channeling energies that transmute to different parts of the ecosystem. Similar when you look outside of you and things like that. Earth is just an entire ecosystem that interacts with itself, and whenever we abuse it and destroy certain parts of it, that effect is going to be replicated in other areas as well, and things like that. So you can look at how maybe if your kidney is not working, if your pancreas is not working, if you're on dialysis and things like that, you're going to begin to put other parts of your body in an overload. So this is why some people need to get hooked up to a machine, so the machine can start to take on that extra load of weight and things like that. Even when you're a truck driver and you're backing up to a dock and you need a heavy trailer, you have to adjust the equipment so it can take on the new workload and things like that. So a lot of times in our lives, we're not going to be fully utilizing our capabilities just based on us decoupling ourselves from one of our brains and creating a barrier to block that area. Now, one of my examples in my life was my ability to be intuitive and my ability to be peaceful, because when I was a child, I didn't have the environment that allowed me to be peaceful, which allowed me to be intuitive, which in return allowed me to be compassionate. Now, I was doing this either way, but you will give your gifts and talents away to people, places, and things that don't really appreciate your energy and what you're doing for them, just based on them having a lack of self-love and lack of appreciation for themselves. Because if they already had that in themselves, they would be able to do that for you and see that in you. So it's a really a crazy thing because we all set up these blockades, these limitations, including myself, when it comes to, how you can play out in the external realm and reality. Because we stopped exploring. We just settled in the same old town. This is why a lot of animes, like I say, like Attack on Titan, where Aaron, he was a kid where he was trapped within these walls, and he found this book. His friend Armin found this book that talked about the land of the burning sands. These kids, they've never seen an ocean before, so they had this burning desire to go explore the land and see what's going on and find out the narrative, the story behind these walls, and why are they trapped in here, and are we the only people alive in the world? The things I see, it's certain questions that you need to start asking yourself, and you are already asking yourself these questions that are going to allow you to explore beyond the land. It's going to allow you to explore and start to see these parts of yourself that have been always within you, but they are dumbed and died down. And you already know the things that you lack. Even you creating a sense of lack, you actually feeling that's actually bringing about that result in your life. So you need to just start to begin to change how you think, how you verbalize your reality, because when you verbalize something, you're actually changing the modality of your thoughts and feelings. You're affecting this water, you're affecting this body. Like if you actually sit down and you actually talk to yourself some really good shit, you will start to eventually feel that. Sometimes I start talking to myself, bruh, like damn, I start seeing colors. I start like seeing white everywhere. Like you can affect your reality with your mind. But if you don't accept yourself as a whole, you choose to divide yourself via the tools that the Matrix gives you. Like if you're a woman, for example, right now, you might be so into this culture of, a woman is her own boss, and a woman can be her own boss, but whenever it's played out on an extreme shift, like, and you don't want a man or nothing like that, like you're going to be missing a part of your life, and you're really just missing a part of yourself, really. Because like females don't really need to be doing all of that stressful type of shit. That's just my personal opinion. You can do that, but I just think it's really attractive and cool for a female to understand her feminine abilities and feminine attributes and be able to carry that out. And like if you actually just do that alone, you'll have all types of money in the world. Same thing with men. Men don't even realize their true masculinity, and they're just turning it in some kind of inward toxic shame that they express to themselves and others unknowingly. It's like, because I see it among my friends all the time, as far as them being toxic to themselves, not liking themselves, hating themselves, all because again they refuse to explore these unexplored part of themselves. And you might get into a boss fight, like I said earlier, these little entities inside of you that take on shapes and forms throughout time based on your environment, based on your trauma and your phobia. Like the Bible says, the sins of the father is passed down to the son and to the daughter or whatever. But the point being is that there's this familiar demon. There's this it's passed down through the blood. So whatever you're doing in your life where you're coming short, chances are you'll be able to see it in your mother and father, and it's manifesting in you because hey, bruh, is that disposition has been ruling over your bloodline for a long time, and you don't plan on going nowhere. And so if we continuously pile up and add more and more to this disposition, this mindset, these entities that are operating inside of you, and really they're just making you take the back seat and they're taking the front seat. You might think you're consciously aware of your reality, but let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something, sis. You don't know what it means to be alive yet, but you keep watching this channel, you'll know what it means to be alive, because I'm just discovering what that really means. I've been dead. I'm like 24 years old. I've been dead for 24 years. Can you believe it, bruh? When you're born into this reality, you pretty much dead. Like, you signed up to be dead. You said, God, like, bruh, I'm going to dumb myself down. You came down, zoot. You just dumbed yourself down. So we all really signed up for death. And I want to teach people how to sign up back for life, because you can give yourself more life. How come like a lot of people don't look younger and younger? How come people look older and older? it's very very crazy when you engage with things that don't give you make you things that don't make you feel alive, how quickly that kills the expression of your cells and their ability to replicate and duplicate other healthy expressions. And this is how you even create cancer, because you, as the leader of those cells, you're basically telling them that, yeah, guys, we should just suicide, we should just kill ourselves. I don't even like me. So you, because they're listening to you, everything you say, your cells are listening to you. So if I come tell you, brother, sister, I love you, and I genuinely mean it, but if you already have an opinion and disposition, man, what the fuck is love, bro? I hate myself. But you're not saying it, but it's something that you're inwardly expressing to yourself because of whatever you lack or whatever you are incapable of achieving, or whatever cards were handed to you. But you keep playing those cards again and again, like a game of Yu-Gi-Oh. You keep saying, yeah, let me summon death. Yeah. Let me summon famine. Let me summon war. All these things that are negative towards our internal expression. So you destroy your cells and you destroy your deity, which is just you, this totality, is wholesome, and you choose to divide that. And you choose to give your piece of yourself to this person. You choose to give yourself a piece to this person. You choose to you tell yourself, I want to give myself a piece of myself to that person. But you gotta get all these pieces back, and you gotta become a whole circle again. And you gotta activate your circuit. And you can do it. You can do this through so many different ways. I mean, like, because right now, you have chosen one vibratory state out of a billion vibratory states. So you're telling me there's all these possibilities available to you in the universe right now. But you and I, let's talk about me. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna accept the fact that I need to go. I need to show up. I need to wake up early in the morning. I need to get out of my bed. I need to do something that I don't even like. Go to work with people, places, and do things that I don't even like, just so I can cut a check, just so I can get that green paper, which is just basically witchcraft that the shadow government made up from trees. Because the idea of trees is that you put a plant on the ground and it grows up. So what the fuck do you think would happen if you just put a seed in your mind and water it and fertilize it and actually let that shit grow, and you actually accept your position in your office? Don't you think you can grow a goddamn world tree? And that's a whole other topic too, because there were trees that were way longer than these trees. These trees ain't shit. We're talking about the mental aspect. You see how the shadow government bamboozled y'all? They made us think like, oh yeah, money, green paper. Now I like me some money. I will never say no to money, bro. I love me some money. Shit. In fact, I'm about to get that money too. But the point is to establish that original connection with the source, so you stop getting lost in all these little tiny niglets and nuggets and and all this stuff, because you are already a part of that whole. And so you need to start beginning to accept the true nature of yourself, and that's you are already 100%. In fact, you're already beyond 100%. That's why it's very very important for you to discover those old lost places in you. Like literally your cells, they just as alive as you. They're having a whole experience inside of you, just like you. There's literally a bunch of tribes inside of you, just like you, just like outside of you. Sometimes they all go to war, sometimes they all establishing peace and things like that. And so the more that you are able to be a good ruler over them, I'm not saying necessarily rule them, but you just gotta guide them back into the flow so that they can begin to do their job properly, so that you can begin to generate mental currency, and you're able to actually start to currently see a new circumstance. Because you got all these different vibrational states, and we're choosing to be broke. We're choosing to tell ourselves that we don't know how to do something. We're choosing to tell ourselves that we're black and weak and we're broke and we need help from the government and handouts and all that. And so I'm inviting you to begin to establish a new pattern with yourself. And that new pattern that you need to establish with yourself starts with you accepting the fact that, you know what, there's some work I need to do on myself. And no matter how long it takes me, that's the point you need to get to. Because you're already predestined for something. So you can't say, you're not allowed after watching this video to tell yourself that you don't know something, you're not sure about something, you don't know how. Now you know. You know you're the greatest dot 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 at something. So you need to find out what that dot 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 at something. You gotta fill in the blank. You could have wrote anything, but some of us write, I'm a short black man from Pakistan, or I'm a short brown man from Pakistan, and because of my Indian accent, I cannot get females. Or some of you guys choose to write, I'm a Christian female from blank 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 church, and I can't express myself affectionately and openly because Jesus is gonna beat my ass up or some shit like that. Whatever belief you assault to yourself is just simply a belief, and you so honestly, inherently believe in that belief that you're not even willing to let go to explore something else outside of it. Again, this is why I keep talking about you being born in a village mentally, and you staying in that village mentally, and you not exploring new territories, new land outside of it. So you actually think that that belief system that was handed to you is the only thing that exists in the world. This is why you gotta explore this map, so you can start to explore the map outside of you. But you gotta remember, right now you're getting cooked by Pan. He's flipping your mind and flipping your organs real good. That's right. So when you die, whew, they're about to have a feast real good on you. Since all you believe in was their thoughts and feelings, they're just about to eat you up. And them and the good old boys having a good old time. So I'm just inviting you to start to have a good old time with yourself again. You know, I love you, I appreciate you, and you know I'm gonna infinitely see you on the next video. You better believe it.